What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy, One Star Weekfoot, and we are back for another FIFA 20 player review. And today, we're going to review a player I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on in the current team of the week. It's going to be none other than this inform Benedetto card. And when you look at this card a little bit closer, I mean, he does have a lot of tools necessary in order to be a meta striker, especially at this stage of the game. He's 5'10". He has the high-low work rates. He only has 3-star skills, which is a bit of a drawback, I do have to say. But the most important thing he is bringing to the table is the 5-star weak foot. I played 6 games in division rivals with him. I got 9 goals and 0 assists. So you kind of see the kind of contributions he can bring to a side. Before we go any further though, if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, don't be shy. Hit the subscribe button down below. I appreciate all you guys for watching right now. Now let's look at this card a little bit closer. So, he has 83 pace, which is not the best, but also not the worst. He should have enough pace to get him behind the defense. When you look at his shooting stats, I mean, he has 85 finishing, 86 attack positioning with the 5-star weak foot. That should make him very dangerous in and around the box. His 87 shot power does stand out as well. His passing stats aren't the best. I mean, if you do want your striker to be a playmaker, he's probably not going to bring much of that to your side. However, he shouldn't be a liability either. I mean, he has 75 short passing, 73 vision, so it is more than passable at the striker position. His dribbling stats are also decent. He could use a little more agility. He could use a little more balance, a little bit more reactions, but he does have 84 composure, which, once again, should make him very dangerous in and around the box. And his physical stats are pretty decent. He has 91 jumping at 5'10". That should make him an aerial threat. He has 80 strength. The low points of his physical, though, are his stamina. I mean, 70 stamina. Luckily, he is a striker, so I don't think it's going to hold him back too much. So, I'm going to bring you guys to our review specialist, One Star Weekfoot, in the studios. Let's get it. Thanks, One Star. The question you might be asking yourself right here, right now, sitting at home is this Benedetto card worth 14,000 coins? And I would say he is an absolute bargain for this price. I'm going to break down the stats so you know exactly what to expect from this card. So first, we're going to start off with the pace. 83 pace, 80 acceleration. How does it feel in game? I mean, I would say he's not a speed demon, all right? Let's get this clear. He is not a speed demon, but he does have just enough pace to beat most defenders in this game. If you want to send him behind for a through ball, I would say go for it. However, once he gets the ball in behind the defense, he doesn't necessarily have enough sprint speed or acceleration to keep going with the ball. So I wouldn't really rely on him as a get him behind striker, but he does have enough pace to beat the defensive line if need be in tight areas. Overall, I would say his pace is an 8 out of 10. The next thing we're going to talk about here is probably the most important thing for a striker. Is the shooting. How is his shot in game? I mean, there are a lot of intriguing things about this card. He has the 5-star weak foot. He has the finishing, the attack positioning, the shot power. And in game, all of those things definitely translate. The first thing we're going to cover here is his finishing. And if you get this guy in a dangerous position in the box, not only will he get an accurate shot off, he will get a dangerous bullet off. The shots feel like bullets. They are very, very strong. They are very, very accurate. And it was a real treat to have this guy on my team. I mean, he was able to convert a lot of half chances. His finishing in the box is so clinical. He even got me 5 goals in one game. And that's something that's unheard of for me. I mean, I'm not that good at finishing yet. The game just came out. I haven't figured out all the meta mechanics, but with this guy, you just plug him and play. If you get him around the box, he'll be able to finish his dinner. The next thing we're going to talk about as far as his shooting is going to be his attack positioning. And he does make very smart runs. I liken him a lot to that player of the month, Pookie. They're not the fastest players, but they do get in dangerous positions consistently. They are able to finish their dinner. And I do think, despite what the stats say, he does have a better shot than Pookie because he does have the 5-star weak foot. He does have the 84 composure. And you can turn either way. He can finish no matter what foot it is, no matter what the angle is. He's going to be able to threaten the goalkeeper. Overall, I got to give his shot a 9 out of 10. At this stage of FIFA, he has one of the best shots I've tried as far as budget cards go. And 14K, just for this alone, is definitely worth it. The next thing we're going to talk about here is his passing, all right? Is he able to link up play effectively? I would say yes. Is he a playmaker? I would say no. I wouldn't buy this card if you want somebody like a Benzema, like a Firmino, somebody that's going to bring the other attackers into the play. However, he is not a liability when it comes to building up. And I think that's the minimum prerequisite for a striker on this game because the passing has changed and players with bad passing. I mean, when you compare him to Dembele from Ligue 1, the cheap striker from Lyon, when you compare their passing, I mean, there is a big difference between them. Dembele, his passing is just garbage. Benedetto's passing at least is passable, and he's able to pull off some passes in and around the box that will be able to unlock some of your other players. However, I wouldn't really utilize him as a striker, as a false nine type player. So I would class his passing as very reliable, nothing more, nothing less. I wouldn't really try to do too many long passes with him. I mean, he is able to pull them off from time to time, but that's about it. I wouldn't rely on the long passing aspect of this card at all. Overall, I would have to say his passing is a 7 out of 10. It's pretty average. Once again, not a liability. The next category we are going to cover here is his dribbling. He has 78 dribbling. How does it feel in game? And in game, it's actually not half bad. He feels very, very, very similar to Player of the Month Pookie in game, in the sense that they are able to really dribble if they have space. They are able to pop off a quick skill move or two with their 3-star skill moves. However, if they're in tight areas, they could get caught up with the ball. The place where he really stands out in his dribbling is his 84 composure. I was able to score a lot of half chances in crowded areas, and that's to me the best part about his dribbling. When it comes to his agility and balance, I mean, I did add an engine chem style to him to help him out a little bit, and I think he did do decent in some areas dribbling wise. However, I wouldn't really take on a defender with him. I would just take quick touches in and around the box and then pass it on. That's how I would use this card. Overall, I would say his dribbling is a 7.5 out of 10. Once again, just like his passing, it's decent enough to get the job done. However, it's not necessarily a strength of his. The final thing we're going to talk about here is his physical. And when you look at his physical, there are some very interesting stats. There are some very polarizing stats, all right? Let's talk about the good first. His 91 jumping is definitely decent in game. He is able to win headers. However, he's not really an aerial threat per se. I wouldn't really, when you compare him to somebody like Dembele, who's 6'2", but has less jumping than him, who wins more headers? I would say Dembele. However, Benedetto, if you send a good cross into him into the box, he's going to be able to finish it, all right? He does have the 81 heading accuracy. He does have the 91 jumping, and he is able to make use of it. I wouldn't make him a target man striker, but at the same time, he does keep the opposition respecting his aerial threat if he needs to. His 80 strength is also a plus on his side. He is able to shield the ball at times. Because he's not the tallest striker, he's only 5'10". I wouldn't really use the shielding too much because his body just isn't big enough to hold up defenders for that long. However, if you do need to ride a challenge, if somebody's trying to go in for a challenge, he's going to be able to ride that challenge successfully. The thing that a lot of people might be wondering though, is his stamina at 70 a deal breaker? I would say no. I did not notice him needing a sub at the end of the game. I did not notice him fading at the end of the game. However, once Weekend League comes, you probably need to sub him in extra time, all right? That's how I feel about this card. But because he is a striker, if you send him to stay forward especially, I don't think the 70 stamina should be a deal breaker at all. So overall, what would I rate this card? I would say at this stage of FIFA, being that it's early access and even into the first few weeks of FIFA, this card is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. There are a lot of strong aspects about this card that make him very much worth the money. Number one, his pace is pretty solid. Number two, he does have the 5-star weak foot. And number three, he does have a very, very good finish in the box. He is very composed in the box, and he does have very good attack positioning. So if you want a striker that could finish chances, which is a commodity at this stage of the game, you got to go for him. I mean, at 14,000 coins, even as an investment, as an 82 inform, he is bound to go up. And you guys already know Team of the Week 1 informs are always great investments. So just for that alone, if you want a striker that's going to retain his value going into FIFA, even gain more value going into the first few weeks of FIFA, I think this Benedetto card is a great value. So that's going to be my Inform Benedetto review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow or later with another video, but until then, later.